you'd mentioned, we're at a crossroads, and portrayed this election as being,
Right.
pivotal for the future
Right.
of the country. Can you talk a little bit about, why this is such an important
I
election?
can. Frankly, I encourage people to go read the platforms. There's never been a larger contrast between what the Democrats want to do and what President Trump and the Republicans would like to do for America. I think, again, it's a country of continued dependence and the government being the answer to everything versus free prize, free markets, enterprise, and entrepreneurship that Americans are good at. So I think it's a very clear contrast there. I think, again, you've had people actively talking about socialism on the other side. You've talked about open borders. You've talked about free health care for illegal aliens in that way. And really, Americans are generous, they're compassionate, but they believe there ought to be rules and regulations. We need an immigration policy that allows people to come into this country legally, but we can't just take down the walls or the borders here and allow people to flood in with the promise of free health care and everything else they need.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of people here work in ag, and you
Yeah,
talked about how
yeah.
important it is to Wisconsin. We've been seeing a lot of, challenges underneath, tariffs and, trade war, and now COVID. And a lot of people would attribute this to, the president. I mean, can you talk about why?
I really am glad you asked that question. The facts, and I would encourage you, and I can send it to you if you'd like, the Economic Research Service has shown that prices, farm income bottomed in 2016. If I need to remind you, 2016 was the last year of the Obama administration. They had peaked 4 or 5 years earlier in 12 and 13 and continued to slide 14, 15, and bottomed in 16. In 17, farm income increased a little bit. 18 increased more, 19 increased more, and in 2020, it's going to be above the 20-year average from 2000 to 2020. That's the facts. The problem was most people didn't feel like they had earned that because they were getting government transfer payments that way, and they'd rather have it across the scales than in a government check. But the president knew when he called out China for their unfair trade practices, there was going to be retaliation, and he was prepared for that he would not let them target our agricultural producers, and he supported them both in 2 rounds of market facilitation payments and 2 rounds of CFAP payments as well. So this administration understands farming is risky, it's tough, and they've had a lot of tough years, but prices, we haven't seen $10.85 soybeans in several years. That's where it is today. The trade policies are working. Many people want to blame the trade policies for low prices, but frankly, it was the retaliation that the president had to do to get China's attention. Now they're buying record corn imports and beef as pork, as well as soybeans. So these are trade policies that have to be taken on, and he understood that and had the courage to do that where no one else would do that.
And I know in Wisconsin we're at the top ranked in terms of farm bankruptcies per year. I mean, where do you see ag going? Small family farms.
Yeah, I think people are recovering. I think the farm incomes are recovering. I think I've been to smaller dairy farms. I've been to small farms across the Midwest here. I think people are feeling better. There's nothing like better pricing to have people feel better here. I think they're all appreciative of the support that's been given by the president out here. But now they're very proud, independent people. They want to make it on their own. That's what I think is going to happen.